down. I saw him 6 months later. This time he wasn't in a wheelchair. He was walking on his own through the lobby. He had a big smile on his face. When our eyes met, the first thing he did was lift his arm way up in the air. I said, I thought that was going to take 3 to 5 years. He said, that's what I was told, but it happened for me in 3 months. His therapist said that in 30 years she had been helping people. She had never seen anyone improve as fast as him. God knows how to do a quick work. Thanking God, praying, but we don't see anything improving. It's easy to get discouraged and accept that it's going to be this way a long time. We just have to endure it. But God said in Isaiah 60, I am the Lord. When the time comes, I will do it quickly. God has ordained certain moments in your life where He's going to do a quick work. It's going to happen much faster than you thought. You may not see anything changing. It doesn't look like you're any closer to what you were believing for than you were last year. But when you come into your time, God is going to do it quickly. It's not going to be a long, drawn-out process. You're going to see a rapid turnaround, a sudden breakthrough, a speedy recovery. It may look like it's going to take a long time for you to get well, to break the addiction, to meet the right person. No, get ready. It's going to happen sooner than it looks. It's going to be unusual, out of the ordinary. You're going to know it was the hand of God. It should take you years to get out of debt, years to accomplish your dream. In the natural, that's true. But when you come into one of these destiny moments, it's going to happen in a fraction of the time. Every thought may tell you it's permanent. His chariots, some of his strongest warriors to try to recapture them. And the Israelites, these 2 million people, were at a dead end at the Red Sea. They had nowhere to go. It looked like they would be recaptured, but Moses held up his rod and those waters parted. The Israelites walked through on dry ground. When Pharaoh's men came chasing, the waters closed up. They were all drowned. Psalm 114 gives us insight into what happened. Verse 3 says, the Red Sea saw the Israelites coming and hurried out of their way. When you come into your time, don't worry, enemies are going to hurry out of your way. That addiction, the depression, the anxiety, it's not permanent. It's about to hurry out of your way. It's going to happen quickly. You didn't see any sign of things changing. Nothing looked any different. Then suddenly the waters part. Suddenly your health turns around. Suddenly the door opens. God knows how to take things that look permanent and quickly change them. When God told Moses to hold up the rod and the waters would part, I can imagine he was tempted to reason it out. God, what do you mean? These waters have been like this for years. You would think if the Israelites were going to somehow get across, it would take months for the waters to recede, become less and less. Maybe God would send a big drought. But when God spoke to Moses, nothing looked any different. Everything in his mind said it's impossible. It would take months or years of a drought. God, we only have a few hours before we're going to be recaptured. But God doesn't always do things on a normal timetable. He specializes in doing a quick work. He knows how to speed things up. What could have taken years, in one moment, God caused the winds to blow the waters back. They hurried out of the Israelites' way. Now, you may have obstacles in your life that look permanent, but God is about to have them hurry out of your way. When we acquired the Compact Center, a company filed a lawsuit to try to keep us from moving in. They said we violated the deed restrictions. Our attorneys told us it could be tied up in the courts for years. When we looked at the waters, like with Moses, nothing looked any different. A year had gone by, the other side wasn't about to budge. They had no contact with us. Looked like it could be that way for another 10 years. But one day, out of the blue, the other side called and said they wanted to meet. Our attorney said it was probably a ploy, just trying to distract us. We met with them, and in a couple of hours, they agreed to drop the lawsuit and let us have the building. When it's your time, God knows how to have enemies hurry out of your way. Would have been one thing if we'd have won the lawsuit after 10 years. We would have been grateful. But God is not going to let the opposition delay you from your destiny. He has already scheduled your destiny moments. That's God hastening His word. 2 Kings chapter 7, the Israelites were surrounded by the Syrian army. They had cut off the Israelites' food supply. Now the people were starving, just a matter of time before they died. Every circumstance said it was permanent. The enemy army was bigger. They had more equipment. All the odds were against the Israelites. But there were 4 lepers sitting outside the city gates. They thought, we have nothing to lose. We're going to die anyway. Let's go down to the Syrian camp and see what they're doing. While they were walking toward the enemy, the scripture says God caused the Syrians to hear the sound of speeding chariots and galloping horses, the footsteps of a vast army approaching. The Syrian king thought the Israelites had hired several armies to attack them. Verse 7 says, the Syrians panicked and fled into the night, leaving all their horses, tents, and belongings. What was that? God causing their enemies to hurry out of their way. Seemed impossible. The Israelites didn't have a chance. They didn't have food, equipment, supplies, strength, experience. But God is not limited by what you don't have. He's not intimidated by how big the opposition is, by how bad the medical report looks, by what the financial statement says. God multiplied the sound of these lepers' footsteps and caused this huge army to flee for their lives. They left in such a hurry, they didn't even take their belongings. They didn't even grab their tents. God knows how to quickly get that you will hasten your word to perform it. Lord, I believe for a quick work. I believe enemies are hurrying out of my way. I believe I'm going to see a rapid turnaround. A friend of mine worked for this company where his supervisor wasn't treating him right. He was jealous of him. My friend had a great attitude. I never heard him complain. He just kept doing the right thing, even though this supervisor would try to discredit him and make him look bad. This went on for several years. The supervisor was in his early 40s, been with the company almost 20 years. Looked like my friend would always have to deal with this. But one Monday morning, he went to work. The owner of the company called my friend in and said that the supervisor was leaving and this owner wanted him to have his position. My friend asked, when was this going to happen? When was he going to leave? The owner said, he left last Friday. You're the supervisor starting right now. God knows how to cause people to hurry out of your way. He had lost control over the left side of his body and his face was drawn. He was told with therapy, in 3 to 5 years, he might regain some control of his left arm and leg. But he was specifically told he would never be able to lift his arm above his head again. Well, I told him what I'm telling you, that God can do things quickly. In the natural, it should take years, but God is a supernatural God. He knows how to speed things up. I could tell this man was a fighter. He wasn't about to take that stroke lying down. I saw him 6 months later. This time he wasn't in a wheelchair. He was walking on his own through the lobby. He had a big smile on his face. When our eyes met, the first thing he did was lift his arm way up in the air. I said, I thought that was going to take 3 to 5 years. He said, that's what I was told, but it happened for me in 3 months. His therapist said that in 30 years she had been helping people. She had never seen anyone improve as fast as him. God knows how to do a quick work. Quit believing those lies that it's going to take you a long time to recover. You heard the experts. A long time to accomplish your dream. A long time to get free from that anxiety. No, God is crossing ahead of you right now so you can quickly conquer. You're going to see a rapid recovery. You're going to defy the odds. God is going to accelerate things. Dreams coming to pass in record time. Things falling into place. Judge that wasn't fair. He didn't have integrity. He didn't care for people. This widow kept coming to him day after day, trying to get him to do something about a person that had done her wrong. The judge ignored her, didn't pay her any attention, but the widow wouldn't quit coming. Finally, the judge said to the lady, I'm going to give you what you're asking for, not because I want to, but because you're wearing me out with your constant request. Jesus said to the disciples, if this judge who is not fair will make the right decision because the lady wouldn't quit asking, do you think God, who is fair, will keep putting off those that come to him? Jesus went on to say, I can assure you, God will grant them justice quickly. When you're in a difficult time, things are not turning around, if you'll just keep thanking God that he's working, thanking him that he's fighting your battles, not begging him, but reminding him what he promised. Notice what God said. He will give you justice quickly. It's going to happen faster than you thought. One translation says, he will rush to your defense. He will come to you in haste. It may not have happened yet, but you need to know God is in a hurry to help you. You're going to see some of these sudden turnarounds. Now the key is to keep thanking him. Keep talking like it's going to happen. Keep believing that it's on the way. When you don't talk yourself out of it, you don't get discouraged, but you consistently thank God, you're going to see some of these quick works. He's going to quickly